Okay, let's see here. Hopefully this is gonna work. Okay. Let's see. Alright, we shall see if this is sending out notifications. Maybe. I'm not sure. Perhaps. Let's see. Okay. Yay! It worked. Alright, let's see if there's anything I need to do on my end. Hopefully it's doing what it needs to do. Let's see here. Okay. Alright. Okay. I think we're go. Yay! Alright, oh yay! Nora C, hi! Chrissy Hansen, hello! Lala Green Eyes. Well, how are you perking? I'm perking alright. Can't complain even if I do. KGB, hello! Wendy Olson, hello! Wendy Sells 225, hello! So that's funny, we've got two Wendy's back to back. Is it Shanae Mo or Mole or something? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry. But hello. Chrissy's like, it's working, darling. I'm like, yay. All right. Aw, y'all are too sweet. Boom her, hello, hello. And Jennifer Duran, hello. Love you back. Awesome. I'm glad that it's going out to folks. Let's see, when was the last time I was live? Because I want to say it's been a minute. January 18th. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is week 7. So between a month and a half and 2 months. It's been between a month and a half and 2 months since we last went live here. Not horrible, but also not spectacular either. I think because it was one of those things where I went live in January because January took about 3 years to get through, and then I didn't get a chance to go live at all in February because February came up on us and then left with a quickness. So February didn't even exist. And so here we are in March, at the beginning of March, and we're live. So I think that has something to do with it. Oh, Nora C says, I needed you tonight. Hugs. Well, hugs back to you, Nora. Christine and Covey, hello. Be careful for your eyeballs. Chrissy Hansen, am I feeling better? Oh, I've been feeling better for a while. I still have a little bit of a cough. I don't feel bad with it. It just, happens randomly because it does. I think that the pollen has a lot to do with it. It's just that, all of that down there is probably still pretty, tender, healing, whatever. And then if you go and you breathe in like a whole cloud of pollen dust, it's gonna make it angry. It's gonna irritate it, make it be like, because it's just a cloud of pollen dust. So I think that that's probably what's going on, is that I'm basically healed after the Rona, and that I'm just accidentally sniffing up some yellow pollen and choking me up. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Sweets Harmony, hello. Stacy Lee 143, hello. Woohoo! Patricia McDonald, hi. Marina C, hi. Yay, finally able to catch a live. Yeah, I know. Finally able to do a live. Exactly, Lala Green Eyes. January was slow. February went fast. And March, well, I keep forgetting what day it is. Same. Literally, I just double tap my watch all the time. Be like, what day is it? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I had to figure it out. Let's see. How do I think the year is going so far? Not bad, all things considered. Obviously not well, particularly. But in terms of what it could be and what it is likely going to be as it progresses, I think so far this has actually kind of been in the clear. So that might be a little bit scary or sad to some people, but it's kind of what it's looking like on my end. I don't know about y'all. Joycey, hello. Patricia McDonald, hi. Terry Moore, hello. Oh, so glad that y'all are here. So glad that y'all are able to join today. How have y'all been in the month and a half / close to 2 months since we've gotten to chat with you? Let's see. Mama Drama MD, hello. Nona, hello. Of course, God is who sees the unseen and all of that stuff. Absolutely. Whenever I use the cards, I'm not asking cards to tell me something. I mean, cards are just paper. This is just cardboard. This is nothing. It's a tool. So whenever I'm asking to get any information from the tool, I'm asking my angels and archangels and light beings surrounding me now, which basically, I mean, most people who believe in God also believe in angels and archangels and those types of light beings that work with God. Those are who I ask. So when I'm asking the cards, I'm not asking cardboard paper. I am definitely teaming in with the light beings that are messengers from God. So yes. Emily Valdick, hello. Let's see. Lala Green Eyes says, the intuitives and astrologers have been saying March is going to be intense. And yeah, my reading said that too. So yep. That's why I'm like, I think it's going okay so far. But considering what the rest of this year has kind of predicted to be, it might get more challenging. I'm not saying it's been great so far, but yeah. Oh man. So I actually don't know anything about celebrity drama. Like, I know nothing. I don't know anything about celebrities in general, much less Selena and Justin and Haley and all of that. I don't know crap. But it's funny that you mentioned that because did I put out a post yet? Or I did not put out the post yet, but apparently it's supposed to go out tomorrow. Not sure why I chose that. Who knows? I had some kind of an idea in my brain at some point in time that's going to ask people to vote, like on the community tab of my channel, ask people to vote on, upcoming readings and things like that. And celebrities was one of the things that people can vote for on tomorrow's poll. So stay tuned for that. And definitely put your feedback there. That way I'll have kind of one place there that I can go back and read through all of the feedback. Nora's been sick. Well, I'm hoping that you're gonna feel better soon. Archangel Michael. Well, all the angels and archangels can help with healing. Michael is a protector. Michael is kind of the warrior angel, so to speak. But they can all help with healing. March is kind of a proverbial tip of the iceberg, yeah. Well, I'd say January and February were, and maybe some of March is, but we're supposed to start seeing a little bit of the underneath of the iceberg starting in March. We're supposed to, so. Rose Sayer, hello. Glad that you were able to catch me on a live, too. I'm glad I'm able to catch you on a live. Haven't had a live in 7 weeks, so between a month and a half and 2 months it's been since we've had a live here. So if people haven't caught one, it's because there hasn't been one to catch. Stay hydrated, friends. Stay hydrated, friends. Alrighty, y'all. So what are y'all thinking so far about this year? What are y'all thinking so far about stuff going on? Reading things. I was letting somebody else know. I'm going to see if this will move. There we go. I was telling somebody else that tomorrow I have a poll coming out on my community tab for the channel. So people go visit that poll tomorrow and check it out. Cast your vote about upcoming readings so that I can make sure that I continue to tailor readings to requests and keep a finger on the pulse of how folks on the channel feel. So always, of course, as I choose readings, I do what I'm called to do. But when I'm looking at what am I called to do, I'm going through a list of suggestions and things like that that are usually requests from all of y'all percolators. And so I like to keep that going. So that's going up tomorrow. So keep a lookout for the community tab tomorrow. Let's see. Right. Oh, Joyce says your birthday's on the 12th, turning 48. Happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday to you. Awesome, Joycey. Kelsey, hello. Good to see you. Gwen Harris, hi. Man and the pups and Mama and Alma and all of them. The man seems fine. The pups are mostly fine. They've got all their little, health things here and there that, because puppies are in a lot of ways like human children where, they're usually mostly fine, but they go to the doctor here and there for stuff and whatever. So the puppies are kind of going through that, especially since it's the allergy season here with the pollen and everything. And 2 of my puppies, struggle with seasonal allergies, so we've been working on that, but so far everybody seems to be all right. The pollen got in Teddy's eye and caused a cornea ulcer because he couldn't flush it out. He's such a bug-eyed little boy that he couldn't flush it out, and he got an ulcer on his eye, Lord. And so we've been squirting some ointment in his eye for a week now, and he's doing great. He's acting like his same little Teddy puffy crazy self. Yep. Let's see. Was I aware that something like Corona was coming along, and do I think it'll have a big impact again? Interesting that you ask that. The answer is a weird yes and no. So years ago, before I had this channel here on YouTube, I used to do videos with my sister on Facebook. And since she has no longer been a part of that Facebook stuff, we took that page down years ago, so that page no longer exists, the thing that I was doing with me and her. But years ago, when we were kind of making projections about things that were coming up, about, I want to say like 4 or 5 years before Rona hit, 4 or 5 years before Rona hit, probably around 2016, 2017 or so, we were showing that there was going to be things that happen that would require people to have to stock up on food items and things like that, and they would have to be careful, and that something that was a big shakeup was coming. And so no, we didn't know it was going to be like, you know, an illness, a very transmissible illness that was going to take hold and create, you know, a global issue. We did not know that, but we did know a big shakeup of something that was going to require big lifestyle changes, and like I said, stocking up on food and things like that, and kind of having to be secluded and trying to be as self-sustaining as you can, you know, because you're not going to be able to be out and about. That we did see, and that was around, again, 2016, 2017 or so, back when we did our stuff on Facebook. So we did see that. It's a little different than predicting like a literal illness, but we did see something coming, and had told the people that at the time were following us or watching us on Facebook about that. So I remember being like, all of y'all freaking, like, to people that were, you know, being rude to us about that and calling us, you know, names about it. I was like, oh, y'all sat there and said this, and look, here it is. The proof is in the pudding. Here, okay? I wasn't lying. I wasn't making shit up. I wasn't, you know, whatever. So we did see that. But yeah, that predated this channel, and like I said, since she was no longer a part of that page has then since been taken down. But it used to be something that she and I did together, and then I started doing this by myself because, you know, since there was something that was supposed to be between us as sisters, and then only half the sister, one of the two sisters was there, I was like, well, I guess I got to start something on my own. So I started the YouTube channel to carry on. So, but yeah. And do I think it'll have a big impact again? It depends on what you mean by that. That's a very broad question. So it depends on what you mean by that. Let's see. Good questions, though. Emily Voldock, you said Murdoch trial was nuts. I never watched a minute of it, but I bet it was nuts. It's not that I wouldn't be interested in watching it. I just got tied up doing, 11 million other things, so I didn't get to see it. But technically, that courthouse is like an hour and a half drive, an hour and 20 minutes from my house. So for all these, like, you're sitting in Canada, Emily, being like, whoa, the Murdoch trial is crazy, and you know all this about it or something, or you watched it or something like that, and here I am, literally an hour and 20-minute drive from the Collin County Courthouse. I could have, drove down there to where they live and came from, easy peasy, and I am like, zoop. Some days I feel like, for real, I end up living under a rock because it's my own fault for taking on 3 jobs. But when the economy is the way it is and you need to have the money to pay the things you've got and to try to pay off any kind of other, like, previous loans or stuff like that, then you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to work on 3 jobs to make sure I've got my stuff shored up, so to make sure I'm stable. Cause yeah, don't want to get screwed in that kind of way. Grace Moon, hello. Did I get in a bunch of trouble from that last video? Oh, KGB. I had to get it reviewed. It had some sort of it looked fine. So I was like, wow, really? I can put this up? So I put it up, and then after an hour or so of having it up, it ended up getting taken down for almost 2 hours. And so I was waiting, and now it's back up. So I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know if we call it trouble, but, you know, if you have too many blemishes on your channel won't exist anymore. So, you know, it's a notch against some things. It doesn't look good, per se. Mama Drama MD is agreeing with Emily Volduck about the Murdoch case. Oh, goodness. Oh, I hear the door. I think it is the man. Rico! I'm on a live stream. You can say hi if you want. I don't know if he wants to say hi. I don't know how tired he is. Oh, he's coming this way. What? I said I'm on a live. You can tell people hello if you want.
The door unlocked.
I had the door unlocked?
Yeah, oh, look, it looks like I have eyes on the microphone.
Oh, it looks like, yeah.
Hold on.
He's like, it looks like I have eyes on the microphone.
Today, I'm gonna stay like this. So the mouth now looks, yeah.
Stop doing this.
All right. You could have been robbed. The door was unlocked.
I forgot that. I don't remember when the last time I went outside was. Probably when the Orlando left.
I don't know. There was a cat playing with a little catnip.
Well,
now you took away my eyes.
Well, they can't hear you.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
I see the audio thing right there.
Yeah, usually I'm in the yellows.
Green is fine.
They can't hear you in green? I can't hear you.
We can ask
I can't hear you.
Look. Oh, well. I didn't say.
The chat takes a while before whatever they type comes up.
Yeah. Anyway.
He thinks y'all can hear him. I think y'all can't.
Well, anyway, there was a white and black cat playing with going crazy with the little.
A black cat with the kitty kick stick.
Yeah. He's still right out there.
Okay, so a stray cat found the kitty kick stick and he's having at it outside.
He got scared when he saw me. He ran, but he stayed on the corner. I'm like, all right, let me go in the house. You can keep playing with your kitty stick. But I'm gonna head out now because my legs are hurting.
Okay. You fucked up my light. Put it back.
It's a special effect.
It's gotta shine in the middle of the wall ish. That's good enough. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's good enough.
I'm sorry.
Everywhere he goes, he fucks up something because he manhandles things. So he's either kicking something, hitting something, he's trying to open something and breaks the entire jar. And I'm like, quit manhandling shit. And he can't help it. I'm like, stop being a Hulk on everything. Okay, y'all said y'all can hear him. Okay. Shut up! I was like, okay, y'all said y'all could hear him, and I heard from in there, see? From in there. Nobody asked you! Whatever, Rico. He's like, see? Y'all validated him. Whatever. I see where your loyalties lie. Buttholes. I need to stop. Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off at where y'all were saying? Okay. Oh, Michelle Bannerman, hello. You said, glad you caught me live. Hope all is well. Glad you did too. Things are all right. All things considered. Terry Moore says she thinks she's having withdrawals from the Murdoch trial too. My goodness. Dog in there going from the pollen. Oh, Marina C. My son keeps saying something is up and things are going to get weird and he's only 11. See, your son knows some stuff. Your son might be as sensitive. You may already know that. See, KGB, my eyes are watering just hearing about the pollen, right? Gosh. Aziz Sigma, hello. Oh, from the Netherlands, awesome. It says you always get haters, just keep your head up, Angel. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I know with the stuff that I do, it's controversial stuff. And it's controversial stuff using a means that a lot of people don't believe in or think is of the devil. And so, of course, I'm going to attract some crap. And I'm aware of that. Plus, even if you were absolutely perfect. If you exist on the internet, you're going to get hate because that's the internet. And y'all know, y'all are here on the social media. I'm sure every single one of you at some point in time has had somebody get weird with you in the comments somewhere on some social media platform, start a fight, something, misunderstand something you say deliberately even, so it's a thing. And you kind of learn to just be like, whatever, and see if there's any nuggets in what they say that's, worthwhile of taking as constructive criticism, even if they said it very meanly. Still look and see. Maybe there's a nugget that I could use from that. Or if not, then you're like, well, they're entitled to how they feel. Moving on. But thank you, Aziz. That's very nice. Oh, goodness. Oh, Emily, you started talking to a guy that's kind of a big deal for you with everything you've gone through. Ooh, Emily, congratulations. Yes, I don't want to make you uncomfortable by making it too big of a deal or whatever, but we're all rooting for you. We're all supporting you, and we're all hoping for the best. We'll just leave it there. Let's see. And thank you, Chrissy, for giving some congrats to Emily. Yes. Gwen Harris, hello. Oh, shit. The chat jumped. That's because I'm taking too long. Let's see. Gwen Harris says, I remember that downloaded info session you uploaded with your sister, and it blew my mind, especially with how accurate you had been with all the YouTube drama. Well, thank you. Yeah, we try our best, Anybody that does this stuff, there's a continuum of how often they're accurate. Let's say this is always accurate, and this is never accurate. If this is always accurate, the best people can only ever get there. Nobody is literally every single time 100% always accurate on 100% of things. If someone says they are, run, they're a fraud. But there can be people around there. And then, anybody around in between. And so I try to be closer to this side rather than this never right side. And I have a good track record so far, so I am grateful to be able to, try my best at getting messages across from the guides. But yeah, shit's tricky. Shit's tricky. Boomher says that I should also post on Rumble. I have no idea how that works. I've never been there before. I've never been on Rumble. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they do ad monetization like they do here on YouTube and things like that. I don't know. I could look into it. I think the hard part about it is because I have 3 jobs right now, I'm kind of spread really thin. So I'm doing pretty good to still be doing this at all, much less figuring out a way to kind of adapt and expand. I kind of suck at trying to figure out how to adapt and expand right now, just because I haven't had the luxury of having the time to figure that out. But one of the jobs that I have is intended to be a very time limited job, and so maybe when that one ends, I might be able to dive more down some of these rabbit holes. And that would be good. That would be good. Let's see. All right. I don't know where I am. Let's see. I'm not sure where I am. Oh, I'm finally caught up to whenever y'all were seeing Rikito. Y'all are saying, hey, there's the man. I just asked how you were doing. And y'all are like, I hear him. I hear him. Oh, goodness. The microphone is microphoning. Yay! Oh, gosh. Nora says, me too, poor guy. I'm a walking disaster about crashing into things and stuff like how Julio does. Yeah. Yeah. Aw, Chrissy, we love your sassy southern butt. Well, I love y'all too, with my sassy southern butt. I love y'all out of my ass instead of out of my heart. I guess instead of loving y'all out of my heart, I love you with my sassy southern butt. So I love you out of my ass. Instead of love you mean it, I need a shirt that says, I love you out of my ass. Yeah. Not sure how many people would wear that. Oh, man. Yeah, husband with Penelope eyes. He's always wanting to do that. I'm like, get here where they can see you and hear you. Quit doing the things. But he's a child at heart. He is a child at heart. GXO, hello. Daryl Brooks child, I've never even heard of that, Lord. It's not something I have to figure out how to look for at some point in time. My heavens. And thank you, GeneXO, for all the help. There are some people on this planet that's just a natural at this, and you are one of those naturals, Gene, and I just don't understand. You have a skill set. This is a talent. Aw, Nora, Air Force Mom stuff. Big hugs to you, Nora. I had an almost 4-year, 1 week shy of being 4 years long. I had an almost 4-year relationship with a man who was active duty Army. And, that lifestyle is no joke. It's serious, and it comes with ups and downs, and it affects the entire family. And so I feel for people who go through that. I empathize. Oh, shit. The chat keeps jumping because I keep being behind. But I like to, try to address everyone. Sinead, if you are not a journalist or interviewer or something like that, you really could be. You have a lot of questions, and you have a lot of really good questions, and I could see you being one of those people that, go back and forth asking people questions, digging deep, getting information, helping pull something out to keep a conversation going, and all of that stuff. You seem to be really good at that. I wonder if you do that already. You might do that already. And if you don't do that already, wonder if it's a hobby or future career option for you. But you just asked, how did I start doing tarot? Did I believe in it in the beginning? I have, long time ago, probably 3 years ago now, I have some Q&A videos from the early days of starting this channel where I go over some stuff like that. But if I'm going to do kind of a condensed long story short version now, and people who are interested can go back to those old Q&A videos from a long time ago and see the rest. But for a long story short version, started doing tarot, pulled my first tarot card back in 2013. Back in 2013, so all decade ago, and it was actually my supervisor at the time, my boss, which is odd. I live in the Bible Belt. You never come across people that do these things, but somehow the person who was supervising me at the time, she was from Pennsylvania, so she was not from the Bible Belt. She introduced me to tarot cards, and I started just doing one card pull for what do I need to know today, spirit guides, and I would do a card pull, and I would go to the book and find the meaning and read about it and be like, okay, thanks, So I used it more like an oracle kind of thing. And it just got into reading for other people in small ways, and then it kind of reading for other people in bigger ways, and reading for events and situations and circumstances in bigger ways, and then it just kind of turned into this. And I never meant for it to. In fact, how we were talking a little bit earlier about how, I used to, way back in the day, have a channel, group, page, whatever you want to call it, with my sister back on Facebook, back when we predicted the Rona type stuff. And back then, I remember every time people wanted to do, let's do tarot cards today, because we did all kinds of different things. Tarot cards, the runes, Norse Nordic runes, the Chinese I Ching. We did all kinds of different things. And I remember when people would be like, let's do tarot cards. I'm like, Alma, you do that one, because I didn't like tarot cards. I didn't want to be the one to do it. I was like, I always deferred to Alma. But then when Alma didn't want to do this stuff anymore and it was just me, then I had to do it by myself, and it just kind of went off from there. And I'm like, well, shit, okay. I guess this is, one of my jobs now. One of the 3 jobs that I do. So, so yeah. That's interesting. I was born and raised very Christian, because here in the South in the Bible Belt, that's how you are. I still have a lot of Christian beliefs. I also have some Buddhist beliefs. I also have some pagan beliefs. I also have, just general spiritual beliefs. I'm just kind of, very open to things. I always do ask for my angels, archangels, and light beings and spirit guides to give me the messages, so I'm never trying to channel anything negative or bad or evil or anything like that. I don't do, spells and things of that nature. Not hating on people that do, just saying that I don't. But yeah, so very, very interesting question. And I have mentioned before too that I have some internalized shame around it, because I grew up thinking about tarot as being phony and stupid and, a dark witchy person doing something over a crystal ball in a creepy dark tent somewhere, shady and seedy, because I grew up being told that that's what this was. It's hard to not have internalized that over the last, 3.5 decades that I've been alive. And so anytime I'm like, say, traveling anywhere and they're like, oh, a tarot reader, I'll be like, I'm not going there. People be like, oh, there's a tarot reader, do you want to go? And I'm like, no, why? And they're like, what? And they're so confused by my reaction. And then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why did I react like that? And so I've still never gone to one of those like in-person tarot readers somewhere, because I have that weird internalized shame around it. I'm like, man, I got to work on that. So I do work on that. It's just kind of a slow process. It's very strange how that happens. So I don't know. It's complicated. But yeah. Good questions. Let's see. Lauren Graham, hello. Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve to everyone. Yes, Lauren. Happy Friday Eve to everyone. I love that you brought that up. Oh my gosh, Chrissy. Chrissy Henson says, OMG, my 5-year-old grandson keeps doing that too. He's even drawing big explosions with mushroom clouds. That makes me uncomfortable that he's doing that. That makes me uncomfortable. Oh gosh. Yeah, because in previous readings and channeled messages here on the channel, the guides have always been clear that the earth is not intended to be destroyed, and that the entire human race is not intended to be destroyed. So we are not meant to be, or at least like no time soon, because I wasn't asking like, what about 1 billion years from now? No, I was asking like, our foreseeable future, or like our lifetimes kind of thing. That the guides have been very clear that we are not intended to lose the planet, and we are not intended to become extinct ourselves in the, like I said, foreseeable future of our lifetimes and stuff like that. However, any times that I've asked about Nukes, I'm not allowed to say that word probably, so Nukes, anytime I've asked about that, I have not seen anything like intentional around that. So I haven't seen anybody being like, that's it, now's the time, we're about to start something, let's start it now, and that they go off and do that. I haven't seen that. Now, if there's some kind of a crazy scenario where it's like they accidentally made this mistake, which accidentally triggered them to get mad over that mistake, and then they kind of did something which was a little bit of a mistake, and now they did, and it just kind of has this weird trickle effect, and then things start popping off that we were hoping not to happen, and there was, pockets of lost life around. I don't know, that might be possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. That's something that I haven't directly asked about. And so it might be something, that I could try to ask in the future. If I were to try to ask that, I would have to really do some pre-work to get in the right headspace around it. Because if I ask it feeling fear, we're going to get answers that make us fearful. Like, we're going to accidentally connect with the wrong entities and get fed lies to scare us so that they can feed off of that energy. And it's kind of hard to do a reading on that and be like, oh, I don't care about the outcome. Whatever it says is fine. That's kind of disingenuous. We do kind of care about the outcome, and whatever it says does not feel fine to us. So to genuinely get to a more neutral, good vibration of a place to do a reading like that, it's going to take a lot of work. And to be honest, where I am right now, I'm not there because I do care too much about what that would say in a reading. And so I haven't asked that specifically, but I have thought of that. Like, I wonder if there's some kind of a weird accidental means that this kind of a thing could happen. And I wonder when and how I might prepare myself to be able to ask something like that and be able to trust the results and the outcome of that question as being accurate based on the level of my vibration at asking. And so, that's something I'll have to think on a bit more and continue to work on myself around. And I hope that makes sense, my explanation around that. It may not, but I hope it does. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting closer to be caught up to these. Remember to hydrate, folks. Okay. Boomher says, I'm presuming you're talking about Rumble still. You said, it works like YouTube and they do monetization. You can arrange it so everything uploads to both at the same time. Okay, one of these days I will maybe see if I can explore that. Again, I'm stretched pretty thin right now to be adding anything else onto my plate without breaking. If something falls off my plate, I might have the opportunity to be taking a look into some of those things. I know at one time I had tried to start creating a Patreon, and I started creating an account and didn't even finish creating an account, and that's been a couple years now. So I'm like, I don't even know if that's valid anymore. So yeah. Oh man, I'll have to think on that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. E-Girl NRG Ella, hello, and welcome here. Let's see. All of y'all are griping about the Murdoch trial, being like, oh, it's so bad. It sounds like a hell of a headache. Maybe I'm glad I didn't watch. I don't know. Oh, shit. There goes the thingy again. I thought I did something about the volume of that. Whatever I did must not have took. Did I not save it? Lord, I'm a mess. But thank you, Angela, the book nerdist. I love the name, and welcome to the Perk Squad. Happy to have you here, Angela, the book nerdist. So welcome to the Perk Squad. There's a lot of content on there you can catch up on if you'd like. You're gonna be busy for days on that. Man, I mean, I guess it's not a horrible thing that happened with the little sound and stuff, but I thought I had turned the sound off on that. Apparently, I did not effectively do that. Maybe I just don't know how. Maybe it's always gonna be there. That's a possibility. Possibility. PJ, hello. Great to make a live. Yes, great to have you here at a live. Let's see. Chrissy Hansen, if you aren't against people who, do this with Mary Jane, there's a YouTube service called Pipeline, and you can upload to as well. I know a few students who love card readings. My middle child is one of them. I've got nothing against it. I stay far, far, far away from it myself. One, because one of my jobs is at an alcohol and drug treatment center, and so that would be a huge no for me working there. And two, because even in the very distant past, when I one time was like, okay, maybe I'll give it a go. I'm talking about the worst experience of my life. Yeah, that's a no for me. How they say that there's, some people that it just doesn't sit well, that it triggers anxiety and terrible things. And I'm just one of those people that I don't do well not feeling like myself and not being in control of my faculties. I don't do well with that. I apparently, even the smallest amount of anything can trip me up and send me into panic hell. And so I avoid all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I don't judge anybody who decides to engage in that. Who am I to judge that shit? Let's see. Well, I'm going too fast. Let me back up. Where was I? Oh, E-Girl, NRG, Ella, you said, the Murdoch trial? Yes and no. I did not watch it. However, I was telling people earlier, I am an hour and 20-minute drive from Colleton County down there. And so, I'm an hour and a half away from where the Murdochs grew up and lived. So I'm very familiar with that area down there. I've been down there to that area. I don't know the Murdochs myself. Sounds like maybe that's a good thing. Sounds like people who know them don't have the best outcomes. And I did in my March 2023, general reading for what's to come up in March. I usually do 2 videos, one for all the percolators that can see it on my channel, and then another one for Perk Squad members, so channel members. And in that one that I did for the channel members, again, it was just a general, what else can we know about March 2023 that wasn't covered in the main video? And there was some stuff coming up about it, and I was reading it, and it wasn't until a week or so later that all this Murdoch stuff came out with the guilty verdict, when people thought it was going to go one way and it kind of went this other way and all this whatever. And I was like, oh crap, those predictions must have been pertaining to that. And so I put that up in a video to say that those predictions must have been pertaining to that. So I'm aware of it to that degree, not beyond that degree. Barbara Tatum, hello. Glad to catch you live as well. Is there something spiritually weird going on? This has been a jacked up day / several days. Barbara, my March 2023 thing said that this month was going to be intense and chaotic. So if you're having a weird day and weird several days, I am not in the least surprised about it. It was like, this is going to be a chaotic, crazy, intense month. And so I've had my seatbelt buckled, so to speak, because, yeah, I don't think that you are alone in thinking that or feeling that or whatever. That seems to be a pretty common experience for these days here recently. So, yeah. And matter of fact, on my on the Perk Squad, I've just got the post pulled up. Every single week, I do a 3-card pull for Perk Squad members to give them a weekly forecast. And part of the weekly forecast, literally the first sentence of the weekly forecast says, "This week will be a bit of a challenge." Literally, the very first part of the first sentence of this week's Perk Squad forecast was, "This week will be a bit of a challenge." And then I went on, a couple paragraphs more about it and showed my cards. So yeah, if you're feeling that, very typical common experience for this week. Nothing's wrong or whatever with you or something. It's not that, you in specific are cursed or anything like that. There's something weird going on. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Barbara. Good point, Lord. Angela the Book Nerd says, I would like to buy a deck of tarot cards. Which type of deck would you suggest for a total newbie? Okay, well, all right, here. It depends on what you're doing with them. It depends. So, I'm going to give 2 suggestions here. One suggestion. If you're wanting to do tarot readings like how I do tarot readings, where you're reading on events, situations, stuff like that, and if you happen to have tiny hands, like I do, as a 5'1", 110-pound lady, then you might like this small deck that I use because it's the same size as a literal deck of playing cards. So, regular playing cards that people use for poker, it's the same size as that. Usually tarot cards are bigger. I like these small sizes because 1, it can fit well under my camera down there so that y'all can see in readings. And 2, because then I can shuffle it because it's small enough to shuffle. And it's the Waite Radiant. So it's the very classic, y'all ain't going to be able to see this shit. Excuse me for 1 second. So it's the very classic types of, cards, the ones that you would see most classically for tarot. And those are great to learn for beginners because most of tarot cards, even cards that look pretty or are designed differently, are usually based off of Rider-Waite. Rider-Waite is the standard. So in that way, that is a good type of beginner deck. However, if what you're looking for is a beginner deck is because you are wanting to read for yourself, then I have 2 things to say on that. 1, only probably this many people who read tarot cards can effectively, accurately do a full reading on themselves without either getting freaked out and reading the total worst case scenario that's not even going to happen, or without being biased and seeing everything that they wish to see and, look, all these things that we wanted are going to happen and whatever. People usually end up kind of swinging towards those sides when they're reading for themselves because you're too invested in yourself. You're too invested in the outcome. It's hard to get the spiritual ego part past and to read accurately. And so doing a full spread, full reading, is hard for most people reading for themselves. So what usually works better for people reading for themselves is to do things that feel more like oracle readings. So getting oracle cards or things like that, where you're just saying, what do I need to know? What is the theme for the day? What is a message that my angels want to tell me? Those kinds of more broad, open-ended things where you're only pulling 1, 2 cards, maybe 3 or something like that. That seems to work better for people who are kind of looking into things for themselves. In that case, a deck that I like and would recommend for beginners for that, especially for women, let me go grab, pardon my pajamas, my sweats, and my long shirt here. I would recommend for that this. This is the Mystic Dreamer Tarot and comes with the book here. Jesus, this is hard to do. Comes with the book here and the cards in here. This is actually the first deck I ever started on 10 years ago. And what I like about it is, 1, obviously the cards are beautiful, but 2, because the book explains not only the meanings of the cards, but it also has this use your intuition section. So For example, not only does it explain the cards, like here, the Justice card, but it has a Use Your Intuition section, which helps you to learn how to use your intuition when you're reading cards, which, if you know anything about card reading, knowing the traditional meanings of the cards, sure, is very helpful, but having a fine-tuned way to read using your intuition is critical. If you don't use that piece, it will not happen in an accurate way. And so they help begin your intuition, prompting you to do that. And so it's very, very helpful and elaborate in that way to use this, even if this is tarot, but to use this as if you were using it like an oracle deck. And so you're using it in that kind of way, but yet it's tarot. So you're learning the tarot, but using it as an oracle type of thing for yourself. So in terms of your short question on you'd like to buy a deck of tarot cards and what type of deck do I suggest for a total newbie, that gives you an awful lot of information. Hopefully I didn't make it as clear as mud. Hopefully that helps. It depends on kind of where you're going with it. But that's what I'd tell you. That's what I would tell you. That's what I did tell you. That's what I'm telling you. So great question, Angela. Awesome. Okay. I know I'm kind of reading slowly, and so y'all are probably talking about these things as I'm saying them, and I'm still behind. I'll catch up to that later. But I'm just trying to get this here. Let's see. Okay. And Gene XO says Barbara Tatum Pisces season mixed with the full moon in Virgo 2 days ago. That'll do a number as well. Good point. You know what? I forgot about the full moon. My husband reminded me of the full moon. Actually, whenever I had, seriously, without even thinking about the full moon, I felt like I needed to do a total house cleansing. Like, it felt like, oh shit, this house really needs to be cleansed and cleared. So I did a total house cleansing and then had real trouble sleeping that night, but have slept okay ever since. And I was like, damn, that was all really wild. Why did I feel like doing a total spring cleansing and then slept like trash? And my husband was like, well, it was the full moon. I'm like, Scoozy? Are you sitting on this information? He's way better at following full moons, new moons, whatever's happening with the moon than I am. I suck at knowing what's happening with the moon. He always knows what's happening with the moon. Every day he goes outside and he's looking up, and I'm like, you look so weird. The neighbors are going to be like, why do you go outside and do this, multiple times a day, every day? And he's like, I'm looking at the moon. I'm like, oh my God. You're a strange man. But yeah, there you go. Pisces season mixed with the full moon in Virgo 2 days ago. There you go. Thank you, Gene XO, for that. Aw, Chrissy Hansen, you said B is a melting pot of all the good energy and vibes one can find in the world. That's why we love her so much. Well, she loves you back. My goodness. Loves you back. Sarah Bear, exactly. Tarot taps into that universal knowledge. Yes. True. And you said it's the hard truths. That it is. GNXO has given us some more astrology tips. You said also Saturn moved into Pisces on March 7th for the first time in 30 years. So lots of changes and shifting energy. Saturn represents responsibilities, rules, maturation. We have to work hard, create boundaries, and really consider what we do with our time. Sage advice here. Wow, very helpful. Thank you, Gene XO. Very, very helpful. Moved into Pisces on March 7th for the first time in 30 years. Lots of changes and shifting energy around responsibilities, rules, and maturity, and working hard and creating boundaries. This gives us a lot to think on. Yes. That Amber chick, hello, hello. And Blake Tisdale, hello, hello. Glad both of y'all could join. And that Amber chick says, I honestly think I wouldn't want to know. I would stress about it until it happened instead of enjoying the time before the bad, if that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense if you're referring to our earlier conversation about, because you were writing this as the earlier conversation was happening, and I'm just late seeing it. But if you're writing about the NUKES that we were talking about earlier and some scenarios, potentially around that, and you're saying, I honestly think I wouldn't want to know because the stress about it until it happened instead of enjoying the life that you could be having. I very much agree with that. And also, truth be told, if I were to do a reading and, just not be able to hone down on anything or not get things to make sense, that comes up sometimes. That hasn't happened yet, but that does come up sometimes if that were to happen. When guides are like, we're not going to give you this because this is a don't need to know basis. And that doesn't mean, it's going to happen and they don't want to tell us. That doesn't mean that. If that were to happen, that means they're like, whether it does or whether it doesn't, you're asking the wrong questions right now. We want you to use the tools for something else. I don't get to ask anything I want and get anything I want from the cards. I can't squeeze stuff out of the cards that isn't there. That's what I say all the time. But I will read what I get, and I'm literally just a messenger. That's one thing that is both frustrating and cool, is that if you're channeling your guides and angels and archangels, beings of the light, and you're asking for information that is for our highest good, then that gives them the opportunity to create spiritual boundaries, and they give us information that they feel like is for our highest good. And if they feel like, certain information is not going to be a part of their highest good, it's just going to do things that are going to be, hurtful, impede their journeys here on earth, take them off the path, etc., then they won't tell us that information. So a lot of times when people are like, well, why didn't you mention this? Or why didn't you say that? They think either I'm hiding stuff from them, which is nefarious, or that I'm totally incompetent and not giving, not good at what I do. And so a lot of people think of me as ranging from nefarious to incompetent, because either I'm seeing things and holding it back, or I'm too, shitty at what I do to get the right information out there. You would have seen that if you were a better psychic or whatever. But no, that's not how this works. I ask, and then I get what they want me to know and want us to say, and then I share that. I'm literally just a mouthpiece. So think about this. Here's a person. They play a clarinet. The clarinet makes noise. I am the fucking clarinet. I'm not the person playing it. I'm not the noise it makes. I am the clarinet. I and the cards here, we're the tool. We're the tool. We're not the message that comes out at the end, and we're not the messenger that sends it. We're just the tool. Literally. So that means we are in some ways not at all of any importance, because we are not the message, nor are we the messenger. And that also means that we can't ask whatever we want or say whatever we want, because the clarinet can't play whatever song it fucking wants. It can only play what the player plays. It can't sound whatever it wants. It has to come through them. It's literally only can do what the person playing it makes it do. And it can do no more, no less. And that's me. So, and I think most of y'all probably already understand that, so I'm preaching to the choir here. But I think a lot of people who don't know a lot about tarot or psychics or how this stuff works, they get that misunderstanding, and then they write that gibberish under the channel. And just so you know, if you ever see people writing that kind of stuff, you can explain that. If you want to be like, hey, well, B-side wants, this is how she explains it, you can do that if you like. If you feel like that ain't worth your time and you don't feel like typing it, don't type it. I'm just telling you, hey, if you see that, now you know, and you can tell them. So, anywho, long story long, I agree with that Amber chick. I agree. Alrighty, let's see. Scrolling down. Jen, Aunt Nene Hobbs, hello, hello! You just went through the March video, and yeah, March is crazy. March is bananas. Yes, yes, Jen, you are so right. So right. I know I'm getting to these comments late because I'm, kind of going through all of them, but you are so right about that. Oh, goodness. Rebecca Rankin, hello, hello. Theodore Lichten, hello, hello. Let's see. Oh, shit, the chat jumped again. I know, I'm behind. I gotta get there. I gotta figure out where was I before it jumped? No, man, now I'm finding it. Okay, I'm not sure where we are. I just showed up, and then GeneXO writing these things, and people saying hello to Theodore. Okay, I think maybe that's where I was. People saying hello to Theodore. All right, and Rosie's Fab Finds, hello, hello. Awesome. Okay. Nora's like me. We don't know anything about moons. I know the basics, like the baby basics of things, but there's a lot that I could learn. Let's see. Understandable, Barbara. Gotta watch that one. Haven't had time. I'm the queen of being like, I don't know if I have time. So, I get it. Shayla Lukatic, hello. Oh, man. Let's see. People are talking about their astrology signs. Awesome. Jackie Vineyard, hello. So happy. Oh my gosh, you're like, I'm so happy I caught this live, and I'm trying to say, I'm so happy you caught this live too. Lord, I'm trying to say both things at the same time. It doesn't work like that. I gotta pick one, start there, then do the other one. Lord of mercy. Goodness gracious. Aw, everybody's helping each other in the chat. We love to see it. Everybody giving each other encouragement and helping hands and giving everyone some nice information and reassurance. Love to see that. That's exactly what our communities are good for. That's what it's about, that we end up, attracting like minds and like vibes all together so that we can feel like, this is a place that we belong. This is a place that we can get along and we can feel safe to talk about these things and, mutually help each other out and just have some nice camaraderie and fellowship around that. So this is wonderful, and thank y'all for that. Very, very kind. Just like Jackie said, you said, Nora, you're never alone. You have us Perk Squad members and here for support and love. Yes, amen. Just what I was saying, but you wrote it first before I said it and read it. Angela I'm seeing what you typed about me, kind of talking about these things here. And you said, that was brilliant. Answered the question for sure. Definitely want to look at events mostly, but a heads up on the day and fine channeling intuition is really super helpful. And big hugs and thanks. Yes. Yes. Makes sense. Best of luck to you. You're going to be fine. Let's see. Shaylin says, I look up at night a lot too. My kitties are always wondering what I'm doing. Are you related to Julio? Because damn, what is with y'all? Yeah, funny. Aw, see, Jackie says, I think so too. I've been around since the beginning of the Perk Squad and made some great connections in the group. Love that, love that. And Terry says, it's a great community. Wonderful. Anna95, hello, hello. Y'all, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. It's getting a little... Probably pollen again. Let's see, how long have I been live? An hour and 10 minutes. That'll do it. Talking for an hour and 10 minutes straight. That'll do it. Let's see. Blake said, do you think that they will turn on digital currency? Will it be an overnight switch? Why is everyone so afraid of it? Your debit card is basically digital money. That's a chip in it. I haven't looked into that stuff thoroughly in a reading, which maybe is something that I might do in a future reading then. But at least with what I have looked into that in previous readings on things like cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, anytime they've mentioned currencies, finances, and things like that, they've mentioned things being kind of a process. So anything being a switch overnight, I don't see that. I have not seen that in my cards. I haven't seen any kind of things about overnight switches in my cards. Any things that I've seen in the cards when I ask about finances and things like that, any of the past readings that y'all can find if you're interested, it has always kind of talked about, you know, a bit of a slow process, an unfolding of sorts. So, yeah. Let's see. Just call me Hen. Hello, hello. Yeah, Jackie, you said it feels like forever since we all chatted. I looked it up a while ago on my phone, and apparently it's been 7 weeks since we last connected, which is right smack dab in the middle between a month and a half and 2 months. So it's been almost 2 months since we connected. We connected last January 18th was when we last had a live stream, was January 18th. So yeah, that's because February went away and everybody's like, what happened? So we did it in January, and then now we're doing it in the beginning of March, but February was like, what happened? Literally, where did you go? What did you even do? Did you even represent 2023? I don't know. I don't know that you did. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Chrissy Hansen, would you consider intuition and gut feeling the same thing? I think that for that, I think that people could probably play a game of semantics with words. At the end of the day, saying I have a gut feeling or I have an intuitive vibe about this, at the end of the day, colloquially speaking, it's probably tomato, potato kind of thing. It's probably, the same in terms of, colloquial impact of using intuition versus gut feeling. There may be some sort of, small differences between the two, just like how technically jealousy and envy colloquially get used back and forth interchangeably, but they're technically different. There could be something like that different there too. So I guess it's all going to depend on who you're talking to. If they feel like, hey, now there's a difference in that. Do you mean this or do you mean that? But I think for the most part, most people are probably going to consider them the same. Let's see. Wendy also says, B, you once told me that Archangel Michael was has always been with me. How does that work? Do they get assigned? Do we pick them? Do they pick us? I guess from the readings that I do, I can't know for absolute sure all the mechanisms of exactly how it works, so I wouldn't want to act like I know, here's the exact process. First this happens, then this, then this. But what I gather from the readings, like what it feels like from the readings that I do, the information that I do get that kind of helps me to put some puzzle pieces in place, and I have some inferences about what happens, it seems like there's kind of some mutual choosing going on, that it's kind of like, hey, this is a lifetime that I as a soul designed for myself so that I can grow in the following ways and learn the following things, and I'm gonna need help. Hey, I want to talk about who all would be best suited to help me if this is the type of journey that I have, and based on that, can I get some I almost slipped into my job stuff. Can I get some letters of commitment from your organizations? Oh my God, get out of work mode. But it's kind of like that. It's like, hey, can I get you to agree to kind of partner with me on this and kind of help me through this? And it's like, yeah, I want to, sign up to be of help on this. I can contribute in this way for this and this way for this. And so it does seem like there is, from what I gather in reading, it does seem like there is some mutual stuff. It's not like somebody gets assigned and you never got a say and they never got a say. The big man above assigned them and nobody ever got a say. It doesn't feel like that. It feels much more like people are aware and have some sort of reciprocal, agreements or permissions or something like that. It feels more like, yeah, we're all on the same page that this makes sense. So it feels like a togetherness that comes with that decision. It doesn't feel like an assignment as in, we made a decision about us without us. It doesn't feel like that when I get it. But in terms of the actual technical detailed processes in it, I guess we'll find out when we go for this lifetime, and then we'll learn it and then we'll forget it again. Oh goodness. Jackie says, how is Alma? Will she ever do a guest appearance? I've been thinking of her. I've been trying, but I try less and less to get her to do a guest appearance now, because after so many no's, you kind of get tired of hearing no, and so you don't want the door slammed in your face again. So you don't ask. Not that she's like literally slammed a door in my face. Y'all know what I mean. I'm talking, you know what I mean. But yeah, so maybe I can get her to make a guest appearance at some point over something. Just so far, she's really sticking to what she's doing. She's being basically not about the internet almost at all on any kind of platform. And so it feels good to her right now to be very removed from the internet and kind of anonymous and only here with the day-to-day things that I can touch and see with my own eyes. And that's being very healing for her right now. And so I'm kind of well, I'm annoyed that I can't have you a part of the process and that you always say no. And at the same time, if that's what's healing and feeling good to you, then I also don't want to, be the annoying person that keeps at it and at it and at it and at it while you're trying to take that time and space to heal because that feels good to you. And so I'm like, I want to be in acceptance of her place, but I also wish that she would do some things. So it's a tough spot to be in, but mostly I just kind of honor where she's at with it. Let's see. All right, have I gotten close to caught up? Hopefully, because I've been live for almost an hour and 20 minutes, and I need to be wrapping it up soon because I can feel my voice going. I was doing fine, but after an hour and a half of using it, then I can feel it starting to get a little bit tickly a lot, and I don't want to be clearing my throat all the time. I'm sure headphone users probably hate that sound. Can I do a reading? Blake asks, can I do a reading on why political people are so afraid of TikTok? I didn't know political people were so afraid of TikTok. That's an interesting idea. Huh. Kitty and Lou, hello. Jackie says, I need a reading. It's been a while since our last one. So much has changed since we last chatted. You know where I'm at whenever you need me. No rush, no pressure. If you ever need me, you know where I'm at. I told y'all that it was starting to go. I can feel it. Okay. Kitty and Lou says, hi, hey B, miss you. How's your working with the Afterlife Connections going? Going all right, I reckon. Can't complain. Angela the Book Notice says, I'm so glad I joined. This live has raised my energy. Had felt a little low, but higher beings are definitely surrounding this live. Aw, thank you, Angela. I'm so glad that you feel better now as a result of being here, and that you can feel the higher beings surrounding the live. I always like to call in my team to assist, and I always do the live around things like black salt and stuff like that, so that I have my protection nearby, and all this kind of stuff, because I really do try to help create a space that again, like-minded and like vibe people can kind of come to. And if you notice, sure, there's a frequent pop-in of people who aren't, but do you notice that they don't stay very long? There's reasons for that, I'm sure. So yes, so glad to have you. Oh shit, what's my phone doing? Okay, I don't know what it's going off for. Whatever it is, if it's work related, I'll look at it after this. Because I know I'm going to go soon. Let's see. Okay. Jackie says, B, let's try a minor guilt trip on her and tell her we miss her and pray for her and we want to see her beautiful quirkiness that is Alma. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep shooting my shot. Anytime I think, this seems to be a moment where she seems to be in a good mood and receptive, perchance I will pitch an idea at this time. And so, I'm sure I'll keep doing something like that. Yay, Wendy, I'm glad that the answer made sense. I was like, I'm rambling. Mama Drama, I'm glad that you've been here too. Yes. Nicole Couture, hello. Yeah, the Golden Girl Tarot cards. I've got Golden Girl Tarot cards too. It's just that they are the size of normal tarot cards, which means they are bigger than the deck that I use, which means they don't fit very well within the video frame, and so I tend to not use them. But I have them. Let's see. My contacts are like, have I not blinked recently? Oh, goodness. You Aries ladies do like persistence. Indeed. And I am, like I've told you, Gene, I am triple fire with the Aries sun and the Sag moon and the Leo rising. And then I've apparently got like 60 some odd % fire in my chart, mostly Sag. Alma said by some astrologers' definition that we would meet the criteria for a Sagittarius stellium, which I heard was not good. So, yeah. Terry says, take care of that sweet voice. I know you've been perking puny. Yeah, it's so annoying because, like, I feel fine. Ooh, I'm going to knock over my water bottle all over my desk. That would be bad. But, yeah, I feel fine. It's just that, if my throat and cough box has been healing from the Rona, and then I get pollen in it, and then after pollen is in it, I talk for an hour and a half straight. It's going to be like, all right, bitch, we've allowed you to do this for a certain amount of time. It's excessive. Shut up and quit. And I'm like, you know what? That is a reasonable ask. That is reasonable. Maybe I should pay attention and shush. So, yeah. Oh, goodness. Blake, you said when they said change in 2030, I got scared. It's easy to get scared from time to time with the readings, with the channeled messages and stuff like that. What I take it back to is what they always go back to is don't be scared. This is how things, are going. Don't be scared. You're not alone. Don't be scared. We're helping you. Don't be scared. We find ways to protect. Don't be scared. There's ways to intervene from beings that us incarnated may not even be aware of, and all of that. And so for them to reiterate about not being afraid does mean that whatever we need to do. Oh, okay. Oh, welcome, Boom Herb, to the Perk Squad. You've been a member for 1 month. Oh, yay. Thank you. I'm going to finish what I was saying to Blake, and then I'm going to come there. And so with them talking about, trying not to get stuck in fear, I think that that's because if we all get stuck in fear, then we're all vibrating at that fear level, and then we manifest things to be afraid of. And so the more we are afraid, the more we manifest things to be afraid of. The more we feel acceptance and going with the flow and allowing things and trust in the universe and the directions of the future and grateful for what we do have and what we can control, then we manifest more things to give us those same feelings. And that's just kind of how things tend to work for the most part. And so they seem to keep going back to that in all of their messages via the cards and the channeled readings. And so in whatever ways that you can do for yourself to help you take a look at your fear and work on that fear, face it and see what you can do about it and for it, then you will be contributing to the higher good. You will be not only healing and helping yourself, but you will be contributing in a positive way to all that is. And so, I have to challenge myself to do that. Y'all know I've been diagnosed with anxiety. Y'all know I've been diagnosed with OCD. OCD is literally anxious stuff going on, and I have to control for it all the time. And so I totally, empathize with that kind of a feeling, and I have to work on myself with that too, and I know it's not easy. TP, hello, just got home to see you live. This makes my day. Yes, and I know I'm getting kind of close to going, but no worries. You're here, and I'm saying hello, TP, and that there will hopefully be the replay, because I try to keep those up. Okay, so Boomher, I'm going to look at what you said. Again, thank you for the 1 month. Thank you for the 1 month here in the Perk Squad. You said, I have to ask, has my granny gotten through the message she keeps sending my husband? I don't know. I haven't tried to, I'm not connecting right now to loved ones with the cards. That kind of takes, extra time and effort and headspace to get there. So I haven't been doing any personal private readings on this particular stream. But I will say that it is more likely than not that messages go through, because the spirit world doesn't have the same kind of limitations we do about hearing things and receiving info and this and that. If they're able to kind of be all present and stuff, it's a lot easier for them than it is for us. So that bodes well. But I'm not right now, as I'm fixing to go, not right now kind of tuning into, case by case stuff. So I know I don't have a very specific answer for you right now. Sorry about that. Let's see. And y'all are talking about astrology. Yep. I've got the Ricola Urban Honey Fruit Drops. That's so cool that you said that, Chrissy. Natural work amazing, even with pollen. I agree. Matter of fact, I think they're in this drawer down here. I'm looking. know if I can suck on this and talk at the same time. I'll probably choke myself up. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't put that out there. And plus, I do need to go, but that is a good idea. Like, why is it that I got a whole ass bag of this stuff, and it takes Chrissy being smart and giving me the idea to do it, because my dumb ass can't do it by myself. What the hell? Water Lily, hello. Hello. Oh, Gwen says, here in the UK, we just had a former politician's DMs exposed because he was writing a book concerning Rona. My, it has been said the truth will out. How true. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, Shaylin, it's easy to catastrophize things. So easy to do. My heavens, you were right. Jimmy A, hello. I'm sorry. This is not good to be like this. I mean, I gotta leave anyway, but I'm sorry that I'm doing this. It's kind of rude. Jackie Vinner, and I need to go start dinner, everyone. Beely, so thank again for all you do. And be setting my appointment too. Big hugs to you, Jackie. And absolutely go start dinner. Totally understandable. I hear Bodie whining in there because he wants his. It's 6:45 here, which means it's anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes too early for his supper. And he's already complaining for it. So that's not going to happen for a little bit. But I do need to start wrapping up and getting on out myself. So I can get my shit figured, calm down, work on my throat, although I'm betting this is going to help a lot because obviously, and thank you, Chrissy. Oh, good heavens. And yep, again, everybody in here, tomorrow on the community tab of my YouTube page, I'm going to put out a poll that asks about future reading topics, and I would like you to vote. And then anything additional, type into the comments there on that post so that I will have one place there that kind of has people's ideas and requests and things like that will help me kind of keep going back to that one place. And I will continue to tailor things that way. As y'all know, the readings that I do are 99.9% of the time based on requests. So community tab tomorrow sometime. Just check it whenever and weigh in on that. But alrighty, y'all. So I need to wrap it up and head on out. But I am so glad that y'all were here today. Thank y'all for being here with us and hanging out. We hadn't done it in 7 weeks, so it's been nearly 2 months since we touched base. Hopefully, it won't be nearly 2 months until we touch base again. Thank y'all again, and don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye everyone in the chat, live stream, and bye everyone who's watching this later on the